So, I'm going to eat my own dog food here and have you answer that question. Down here, it says polling is open, and your little clickers, you're going to choose one of these responses right here. Okay? And down here, you know what, I need to switch weapons here to a, there we go. Alright, yes, my backup. Right down here is keeping track of all the responses. And I didn't count how many we have out there. Right now we're up to 15, 16, okay? And these clickers, by the way, they're on loan from Turning Technologies. I told them I wanted to kind of showcase it a little bit. Some of the clickers that you see don't have the ability to change your answer. These do. This is kind of the Cadillac clicker. So these are pretty good. So anyway, so it looks like we have everybody in. I'm going to go ahead and see what the results are. Oh, wow, look at this. Most people, after I shoot myself here, most people actually want to know more about instructional systems design. Now, if you've gone through adult learning classes at all, you know that there's basically 3 types of learners in the classroom. Not talking about learning styles, I'm talking about the hostage.
Yes.
Who is this? The vacationer. And this is the explorer. I don't know who this guy is. Alright, but we have a couple of hostages. Okay, and vacationers. Alright, you get the idea. Here's some just very general information. What sector do you work in? Okay, and this is going to give me an idea of maybe how I can tailor my presentation a little bit to the audience. Okay, we got 16, 17, 18. Alright, we'll go for it. Alright, most people here work in the government, in the civilian sector of the government. Interesting. Educators, some people in private industry. One of the things that kind of bothers me about these conferences sometimes is you have you have presentations that are geared towards, say, the private sector. I think a lot of the keynote, I love the keynote address, but it was really focused on profits and that kind of stuff. And I noticed some people have some questions about, well, what about, those of us in K-12 education that, we're not making money. We're not making a profit, we're not making money on our salary either. But the government sector, we don't make profits. So it helps you to know a little bit about your, so I know that I'm speaking to a kind of a mixed audience here with a lot of people from the government. Okay, know yourself. I'm not going to go through these links because we don't have time to, but part of the analysis is getting to know yourself a little bit, your styles. I wouldn't try to borrow somebody else's style. And by the way, I used to work for people that believe that a good instructor can instruct anything. Okay? If you're giving a detailed enough lesson plan, a teacher can teach anything. A good teacher can teach anything. I'm thinking, really? Could a good salesman sell anything? Think of, anybody know Bob Vila? This old house, okay? Yeah, right? Bob Vila. He's a good salesman, right? Right? Buy some power tools from him or something, Would you buy cosmetics from him? He probably wouldn't be as effective, right? Martha Stewart, great salesperson. Would she be good for selling aircraft parts?
No.
Probably not. Well, would you buy life insurance from the ShamWow guy? Probably not. It matters, okay? The credibility and the experience of the salesperson matters. The credibility and experience of the instructor matters. It absolutely does matter.
Unless it's Bradley Cooper.
What? All right. So we know ourselves. We get to know the product, and these are some helps to getting to know yourself. Or if you're a supervisor of instructors like I was, we have to do peer evaluations, but we have to do supervisory evaluations. So there are other surveys out there. There's a 360 survey that asks other people around you what they think about your skill set, your temperament, and all of that. Know the product. I would practice the task that you're teaching and get to know your equipment. If you're thrown into a situation where you don't have any experience there, get the experience, okay? Get the experience because that The task steps that you did, that you performed in the analysis will turn into learning objectives for the most part. It could, again, this isn't a hard and fast way of doing this, but that's generally the way it works out. We develop very carefully crafted and specific learning objectives. And by the way, I want to share with you an article, just a piece of an article from Forbes magazine. It says how to craft an effective sales pitch. Okay, so see if any of this sounds familiar to you. Before you develop your sales plan, you need to do your homework. I'm skipping around. As a salesperson, you need to know a lot about your buyer, address how valuable your product or your service might be to that specific client. Next, identify your objectives. Does this sound familiar? Your goal is to get the prospect's attention and agreement to have an engaged conversation and how you can help them with something specific. Set action-oriented goals. Say, at the end of this call, I want them to agree to meet with me. We do this all the time in instruction. So it's almost like they're coming back and looking at our methods and applying it to salesmanship. Let's see, strategies, asking questions, what's in it for me thing. Uncover the prospect's needs. Show them whatever you're selling can help them accomplish whatever they're trying to accomplish or fix the problem they have. It goes on. But that is, it's the same thing. Whoops. There we go. You've heard of Gagney's 9 events of instruction. Okay, a lot of people make this their lesson plan outline, which is fine. I do the what's in it for me stuff kind of near the top because that's what salespeople do. That's what they do in commercials. They show you this black and white scene of some person struggling with their hose. Aren't you tired of your hose kinking and not working and leaking and all of that, right? And then they switch the color and then, oh, here's the pocket hose, right? That's what they do. That's in our what's in it for me or grabber section, right? Connecting what we have to what they need. You need, as on the audience, you need what I got. That should be our attitude. All right, what are some of the other things I wanted to? Elicit performance. Have you ever heard of try before you buy? Okay, that's what we're talking about. Letting them do it. If you want to sell this ability, sell this knowledge, this understanding, this, as Mr. Bull said, the ability to execute, you want to sell that to them and have them internalize it, let them do it. Okay? I'll model it for you. I'm going to let you do it. And then once you've made that connection to see how valuable it is, it sticks. And that's how we make the sale. By the way, I'll just pause at this point, because I hear it sometimes. The term idiot-proof, I would kind of stay away from that term, idiot-proof, because you know, as soon as you say something is idiot-proof, they always come out with a better idiot. And that idiot will probably be in your classroom, and they will feel terrible that they aren't able to do that thing that you call idiot-proof. Would a salesman do that? Salesman's doing, the demo, hey, even a caveman can do this. This is idiot-proof. Here, you try it. Oh, not touching that. Okay, so I would just stay away from that. All right, we're still in design. We know, and we teach this in the FBI and instructional development program, PowerPoint presentation is not a lesson plan. If you want to see my lesson plan, it's right here, okay? There are a lot of lesson plan guidance that's out there to help you do your design. There's guidance, there's templates out there. Does anybody use this? 10minute-lessonplans.com? It's very, you talk about high-pressure situation. They actually time you, they go through these 10 events of creating a lesson plan. You have to do it in a minute each time. And it's really kind of crazy, but for lower level, I would say like the elementary age students, it might be good to kind of get you thinking about lesson plan stuff. This planbook.com, is a lot more robust. It connects learning objectives to standards that you've defined somewhere else in the program. You can add multimedia to your lesson plans. You can plan it out on a schedule. It's a lot more robust. But these things help us. Technology today will really help us design our lesson plans so we can make the best sales pitch possible. Let's go on to development. All right. So in the instructional strategies that we choose, let me just say this. I call development anything that you need to develop to support implementation. Okay? So if you're building a scenario or a small group exercise or something like that, that's part of what I'm including here. So we have the instructional strategies, the pitch. Okay? Are you using question and answer? Are you using debate? Are you using small group sessions? What is the instructional strategy that you're using? And then the packaging is the actual stuff, the multimedia presentation, the clickers, all of those things go into making the packaging. Selection of technology at this point could have been selected back when you're doing the design. That might be a good idea. And this isn't an exhaustive list of what you can do as far as the venue of technology, but whatever it is, you prepare it. Okay? You prepare it and you test it. You test the snot out of it. So when we put together a sales presentation, put together our teaching presentation, we want the best content ever. But how do we find good, creative content?